Hey everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 10, Episode 15, Secrets Revealed. Oh yeah, you guys, this is such a good episode. I cannot wait to get into it. Let's just get started. Okay. This episode opens up. We are still at the Jersey Shore, and everyone is in their rooms getting ready to go to the boardwalk that day. They're going to Jenkinson's Pavilion. I think that's what it's called. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Last week I said Pleasant Point, New Jersey. No, wrong, Jill. It's Point Pleasant, and it was right there on the Chiron too, so that was just me being dumb. Anyway, like I said, everybody is getting ready. Jackie goes into Margaret and Joe's room and she's got like a cute little romper on. But Margaret really wants to talk about Jennifer and how rude she was earlier with the comment about, "You don't understand. It's not the same thing, Margaret." That's still ruffling Margaret's feathers. Meanwhile, in Dolores' room, Jennifer is having pretty much the same conversation, but from the other viewpoint, and Melissa is talking to Joe about it. Earlier, I should say that they are sharing a bathroom with Teresa, so all three of them are in the mirror. Joe is shaving, Teresa's curling her hair, Melissa's doing her makeup, and Teresa's like, the family that gets ready together stays together. Uh-huh. Yeah. I don't know, Melissa. You got in between a very tight brother-sister relationship. And it's a little unsettling. Okay, now most of the guys are sitting around downstairs waiting for the ladies to finish getting ready. And as they're coming down the stairs, Bill said, "You're all trying to compete to see who looks better." And Margaret's like, "No, that's not true. I don't care. I want everyone to look good." And Jackie had just come down the stairs as Margaret was saying that. And Jackie goes, "Well, you're in luck." And it was just, it's funny because I felt like it was cute and showed that Jackie had a personality and a sense of humor. I don't know. I don't think I have ever really witnessed Jackie being sort of playful and funny before. Okay, so Evan finally gets there and they all hop into two different cars to head to the boardwalk. Once they get there, they get like beach chairs and they're all sitting around and a waitress comes to take their drink order. Now, I should have noticed this before, but thankfully I have you guys because a couple of you pointed out that Bill's drink of choice is a Bloody Mary. I mean, seriously? Oh my God, how on the nose is that for a vampire? A Bloody Mary. Anyway, he ordered another one. Okay, so the drinks come and they're having a good time, and it gets in Joe Gorga's head that he wants Dolores and Frank Sr. to get back together. He asks Dolores where David is, and she can't stand that question because it's so constant. But she, while he's working, and it works for me, okay? I'm happy. However, it does not work for Joe Gorga, apparently, because he said that if Dolores and Frank would get married again, he would pay for their wedding. Then he wants them to give a very sensuous, passionate kiss to each other. And this becomes a thing that everyone's like, yeah, Jackie was on board with that. Everyone starts chanting, kiss, 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 kiss. Dolores, oh God, Frank, come on. Let's just do it and get it over with so they'll shut up. So they kiss each other. And honestly, I didn't notice any sparks. I don't know if you guys did, but we immediately get Frank's confessional. He says, "I would never get back together with Dolores because I can't trust myself not to cheat on her again. And I just would never put her through that again." It's kind of disappointing. And then in Dolores's confessional, she actually says pretty much the same thing, which is she will never get back with Frank because she could never trust him again. And she doesn't think she can ever get over that disloyalty. So, yeah, I think we need to get over ourselves. Those of us who kind of want them back together again, I think it's because they make such good friends. They genuinely care for one another, but they can't ever be married again. I don't think, you guys. Anyway, that wasn't a satisfying enough kiss to Joe Gorga. So Joe kisses Frank the way he wished Dolores did. Okay, everybody's laughing, and, I don't know. I kind of feel like it's just, any excuse for the bros to kiss each other. Now everybody is ordering food from this waitress, and Bravo shows us Bill ordering another Bloody Mary. Yes, this is the start of the drunken vampire weekend that we are about to see later in the show. Oh, you guys, this show had so much. It really did. So good. Okay, moving on. Jennifer says she wants to go shopping, and Teresa goes with her. Then Bill and Evan go off together to play arcade games. Oh, before that, there's another little kind of a weird shot where Jennifer is asking Bill for cash. I don't have any cash, Bill. And he hands her this wad of cash and tells her to just put it in her pocket and don't count it, which I don't know. That doesn't really go anywhere. So I don't know. It was just weird. But Bravo definitely was making a point of showing it to us, Okay, now Joe asks Melissa to go for a walk with him on the beach, and the two of them go off, and it's so romantic, but really, it's just a vehicle for them to wrap up the fake storyline about them having another baby. Yes, the storyline that went along all season that none of us believed was real. We were right. Because Joe ends up talking her out of it and asking her to just be grateful for the children she has and the wonderful husband that she has. And she said, yeah, when I told my sisters and my mom, they thought I was crazy. And Joe's like, yeah, would you be here today if you had a little baby? You would be having a little baby too, Joe. God, they're just, that underlying sexism with the Jersey men is just, it's so prevalent that you almost forget that it's there. Anyway, she's like, yeah, probably not. And so they agree that with her career and everything, that maybe she needs to close up shop. Let's not forget that he only has 3 sperm and doesn't want to stop with the steroids. Allegedly. Okay, so the people that are left, Margaret and Joe, Dolores and Frank, and Jackie, they go sit down to have some snacks, chips and stuff. And you guys, the people of Jersey eat more than any other franchise ever. Because not only are they out to dinners or lunches, but they're constantly snacking or having hors d'oeuvres, or there's always like this meal before the meal. Anyway, that's what's happening now. And of course, Margaret is trying to get Dolores to see that Jennifer is evil. Dolores isn't really having it. Dolores thinks it's more of an issue between just the two of them, that Jennifer didn't really mean any harm by what she said, and that Margaret took it too hard. Now, there is some truth to that, because had anybody else said to Margaret, well, you know what, it isn't quite the same thing for you because you have Joe. Teresa is doing this without the benefit of having a husband help her or provide financial resources to her. I think Margaret would say, yeah, you're right, but we are both in a legal battle. That's kind of all I meant. But because it came from Jennifer, Margaret wasn't going to take that well, And truthfully, I don't know why Jennifer said it either. I think if it wasn't Margaret, maybe Jennifer wouldn't have said it in the first place. I think those two are still poking at each other. In the gift shop, Jennifer is telling Teresa the same thing, like, I can't believe that Margaret came after me like that. She just always wants to be a mean girl to me. Kinda. She doesn't like you. Anyway, like I said, with Dolores not really gonna take sides there, you know? She said that she doesn't think Jennifer's intentions were bad, and in her confessional, she said, I don't understand why Margaret is so hell-bent on eviscerating Jennifer. Anyway, everybody gets back together and they decide, I guess they're eating. And then Dolores says, I'm cold, who wants to leave? And they all decide to leave. So back at the house, they are all getting ready to go out and have a steak dinner. You see what I mean? I feel like they just had snacks and then they just had lunch. And now they went back to the house to get ready to go out to dinner. Anyway, at dinner, they are all talking about what they're going to do the next day. And the guys are all going on a deep sea fishing trip. Jennifer says she wants to go parasailing. And does anybody want to do it? And nobody really does, but Dolores agrees to go with her. And I guess Teresa. And then Melissa said, I don't know. I was just thinking of maybe just playing mini golf. Does anybody want to do that? And so Margaret and Jackie agree to do that. They talk about the big party that Dolores is having the next day. She's having that pool party at the house. Melissa reminds everybody that before the pool party, she is going to meet Danielle for a little talk. Guys, I can barely contain myself from how excited I am about this. Okay, Margaret says, I can't believe you're going to meet with her. Melissa, I'm just going to tell her that nobody wants to be around her anymore. So then Teresa stating the obvious, I can't imagine that's going to go over so well. Yeah, probably not. All right, so everybody is toasting to Dolores and thanking her for bringing them all together for this nice weekend. And the seafood tower arrives and Joe is telling Bill to eat some oysters. It's an aphrodisiac, Doc. Okay, enough, Joe. He's one of those guys that, won't let a joke go. You know? Dude, you just apologized to him for telling him he doesn't bang his wife enough. And now you're going to, shove oysters down his throat because it's a good aphrodisiac. Yeah. You know what I mean? It wasn't that funny the first time. It's really not getting any better the seventh time. Bill says something like, listen, I don't get out much, but when I do, I can hold my own. And you give me all this liquor and shots, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know what that means, but that, of course, was a little foreshadowing to later in the episode. Then Jackie, for some unknown reason, stands up and says, I know I look like a stupid little girl, but I bet I could chug a bottle of beer faster than anybody at this table. Okay, you didn't look like a stupid little girl until you said that. Anywho, Evan takes her up on it, as well as a Joe Gorga, because of course he can't turn down a challenge like that. So Teresa says she'll try it, and Joe orders 4 beers, and Jennifer goes, I don't like beer. She should have challenged her to tequila. All right, so Jackie, I think Jackie wins. I don't know. It looked like, Teresa was out right away, but then it looked like Joe Gorga just stopped drinking. I thought he was done. I thought he had finished it, but maybe he didn't because Jackie and Evan kept going and Jackie beat him. So everyone's cheering and applauding for her. And then Jennifer has to yell across the table, you're telling me you can suck a bottle, but you can't suck a dick? Oh. Guys, I will never not love Tequila Jen. I'm just telling you that right now. Of course, Jackie doesn't think it's funny. Margaret doesn't think it's funny. Melissa doesn't think it's funny. Honestly, I thought it was kind of funny. The thing that I guess I don't like is that I don't think Jennifer really meant it to be so funny. I think she was throwing a dig at her, you know? But in any case, she tried to pretend she meant it to be funny. Margaret was like, oh, Jennifer, read the room. Yeah, I think the room liked it, Margaret. I do. I think the only one that didn't like it was you and Jackie. Well, Evan might not have liked it. I don't know what their deal is, okay? If there's no oral sex happening in their marriage and they're okay with it, then to each their own, I guess. Anyway, Jennifer's like, oh, come on, it was just a joke. And then Margaret brings up that morning and that she was still upset about, you tried to get in the middle of me and Teresa when I was trying to bond with Teresa and you told me I don't understand. So then Jennifer said, yeah, well, you weren't very nice to me either by telling me that you didn't know I worked when I'm a stay-at-home mom with 5 kids. And, Dolores is like, that's the hardest job ever. And the funny thing is, I don't think Margaret meant that as a slam against stay-at-home moms. I really don't. I didn't take it that way, and I was a stay-at-home mom for my daughter. So again, I think she meant it about Jennifer, not all stay-at-home moms in general. Just like I think Jennifer meant the comment toward Margaret only. Anyway, Jennifer takes it too far and said, I work a 14-hour day, and my day doesn't end until my kids are asleep. I don't know what kind of a mother you were, but I'm a very hands-on mom. Okay. Well, that's very reminiscent of what Danielle said to Margaret. I think that Jennifer knows it is a very touchy subject for Margaret when you talk about her being a good mom, because she has an estranged relationship with her stepchildren. I think something that was a pretty innocuous comment on both sides earlier that morning, Jennifer now kind of went for the jugular. In any case, Margaret gets up from the table, starts to walk away, and she said, you know what? Or she started to say something, and Jennifer goes, you know what? Nobody cares about your opinion. So she walks out, and then as she's leaving, I should mention that she's in a leopard print dress. As she's leaving, Jennifer gets one last shot at her and said, and Fred Flintstone called. He wants his outfit back. I mean, that's the tequila Jen I like. Not the one that takes it too far and gets really personal. That part wasn't so funny. In any case, Joe and Melissa and Jackie and Evan get up and they're like, yeah, we're leaving too. And everyone's like, you're going too? And Melissa said, yeah, we came with her in the same car. Teresa, oh, you came with her? Oh, yeah, then you have to go too. I love that Teresa just gives no leeway on the you leave with who you came with rule. That is a rule that she abides by no matter what. So yes, of course they had to leave. Also, who did Teresa think they came with? They didn't come with you, so... Oh, to be fair, I should also say that Margaret gave a cheap shot as she was walking out too. She told Jennifer the only achievement you've ever made is marrying someone rich. And then she told her that she was lucky that he hasn't left her already. So... not nice to each other. Okay, well, so the two sides are warring. You hear about the conversation in the car, and then you hear some more of the conversation at the table with those people. And it's along those same division lines that has been forming for a long time. It was probably solidified in the Hamptons that it was always going to be Melissa, Jackie, and Margaret against Teresa, Dolores, and Jennifer. And that's pretty much where we are again. Okay, now it is the next morning, and Teresa is still in bed, but she calls home. And side note, you guys know how I look at people's phones, the names to see how people have each other in their contact list. Teresa has her father as Mom Donette. Yeah, it's sad. I mean, they probably shared a phone, I'm assuming, and she just never changed it. And then now I think it's gotten to a point where she's probably afraid to change it, Like it feels creepy to her to change it. I don't know. I would think that every time her dad called, it would be upsetting to see that. But in any case, here's how the conversation goes. You hear the phone ring, then you hear Nono. Hello? Teresa. Good morning. Nono. No hot water! Oh, God. Oh. What? Like, what is happening? So she kind of laughs and she said, for what? You just have to put the switch on. No. That's it? Teresa, yeah, that's it. So I don't know where there was no hot water. Like, was it all throughout the house? Could he not take a shower? I don't know. I don't know what the switch he had to turn on for the hot water was, but the conversation was just hilarious to me. Now we see all the guys leaving to go deep sea fishing, also known as how to get a vampire wasted. They're on the boat, the drinks start coming, then the shots poured right into their mouths. Joe Gorga says, you know what everybody's saying about you, Bill? They say your wife owns your balls. Now, you might think that wouldn't work on Bill. That stupid little attempt to, get at him. But no, Bill throws his head back. Ho, ho, ho. Oh. And he agrees to have Patron poured right down his throat. Oh God, there's a lot of Bill using the term baby a lot. Oh yeah, baby. Come on, baby. I don't know. I've said it before. I do feel like Bill, I think he's a quick learner, don't get me wrong. I just think he is trying to assimilate into what human men are like, but it's like slightly missing the mark. And overuse of the word baby is maybe one of those missteps. At one point, they tell Bill that they're going to convert him into a Guido. I think Frank said that. He said, the rest of the trip, we're going to call you Anthony. Bill. This is so funny. How about just Tony? And then he said, Tony the Turk. Oh, yes. Bill is calling himself the Turkish Guido. And then Joe Gorga comes over and unbuttons Bill's shirt and kind of caresses his chest hair. Yeah, just a bros trip. Oh, God, you guys. The sexual tension is so thinly veiled on this boys' trip. It's incredible. Meanwhile, we've got Dolores, Jennifer, and Teresa, and they've just gotten on the boat because they're going parasailing. I think Teresa wasn't intending to go, and Dolores was afraid to go. But what's happening with Jennifer? Oh, God, you guys. The seas are a little choppy. Let me say that. And Jennifer, when she gets a little nauseous, begins to burp uncontrollably. Oh, I forgot to say that when they first got on the boat, Dolores said, what are the chances of me falling in the water? Because I swear to God, if I land in that cold water, it's over. I'm going to kill one of you. And the guy said, 0 chance. All right. Now, first of all, I'm thinking, 0 chance is wrong because anything could happen. And then they get in the boat, and he said, okay, before we leave, I have to go over all the safety things. If one of you goes overboard, there is a life preserver right here on the side of the boat. You just said they weren't going to get wet. And then he talks about how if the boat starts to sink, there are 12 life preservers in the cabin, and oh, God. I was starting to wonder if this was going to be Cartagena all over again. April 2nd. All right, so now we check in with the mini golf ladies, and nobody's happy there. They keep saying how it's not as exciting as they thought it was going to be. I don't think anybody really wants to be there, but they all just seem very happy to not be with Jennifer. In fact, in Margaret's confessional, she uses another disgusting analogy. This time she says, I would rather wax my vagina with hot, molten lava than go parasailing with Jennifer. Okay. Personally, I would rather parasail with Satan than do that. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, like I said, the ladies keep talking about how boring the golf course is, and to spice it up, Jackie has put her boobs down on the green so that Margaret could aim for them. Then Margaret is like straddling the next hole for Jackie. Anyway, they begin to wonder how the parasailing ladies are doing, and Melissa said, they're probably puking off the side of the boat. Cut over to the ladies on the boat. All you hear is Dolores' voice. Jennifer is burping like an animal right now. Do animals burp? Let me know in the comments which animals burp as much as Jennifer is burping right now. Because, good God, it is a lot, you guys. Back at the mini golf, Jackie and Margaret are kind of coaching Melissa on what to say when she goes to meet Danielle. I think Margaret's kind of afraid, but Melissa says that she's just going to tell her she's not welcome anymore, and that's that. Anyway, now it's lunchtime, and all 6 of the ladies are meeting up together. When Jennifer gets there, she excuses herself to go to the restroom, and then she comes back. Someone said, oh, you changed? And she said, yeah, I didn't want to be in a wet bathing suit when we eat. She's wearing the sorry not sorry t-shirt. And let me just say this, it didn't go over quite as well as she thought. I think she thought it was going to be funny and probably a dig at Jackie. Well, it was a dig at Jackie. Jackie didn't appreciate it. Neither did Melissa. But with the others, I don't think it was like funny either. I don't think anybody thought it was like so funny. So I hope she didn't spend too much having that custom made. So stupid. I'm pretty sure you could buy one at Walmart. Anyway, they questioned her about wearing that, and she said, well, Jackie told me I should just wear a t-shirt that said I'm sorry. And Melissa said, okay, Jennifer, let me ask you, so what are you not sorry about? And she said, I just feel like every time I apologize, nobody accepts my apology. Melissa said, oh, I would. I love a good apology. I just haven't heard one from you. Jennifer, what do I need to apologize to you for? And I think Margaret's like, you threw a fork at her. And again, her response is just, I was just trying to get your attention. Which I told you guys, I do believe that is what she was doing. But you can still apologize for the fact that the fork hit her. Or like it slid off the table and landed in her lap. I mean, you can apologize for that. Anyway, talk moves on to who they're bringing to the pool party. Melissa said that her sisters and her mom are coming. Margaret said that Marge Sr. is coming. And then Melissa's like, but I don't know if I'm going to be in a party mood after my conversation with Danielle. That turns into really just Teresa again saying how she has every right to still be friends with her. And nobody should tell her who to be friends with or not. So, all right, so the ladies get back to the house before the guys do. And when the guys pull up, well, this is the scene we've been waiting for all season because it was teased in the trailers at the end of almost every episode. They have to carry Bill out of the car, up the stairs and into the house like a dead man. First of all, Joe's like, well, should we put him on our shoulders like a fireman's hold? And they're like, yeah. And I don't know who had him. Somebody had like the brunt of him. And he's like, so you guys have to help me. Meanwhile, they bang his head into the door of the car that's open. And they get him up the stairs and they throw him in the bed next to Jennifer. And she's like, oh, what did you do to my husband? Meanwhile, Dolores looks like seriously worried. Like they're checking if he's breathing. And the guys are like, he's fine. And Dolores says in her confessional, I knew I should never have left Bill with the guys. Oh, I don't know. Dolores always strikes me as the type of woman who has seen things and lived a life. And I think that she was just possibly basing this on things that may have happened in the past with these guys. So anyway, I don't know, Joe Gorga rubs his face with a washcloth vigorously, and he's like, he's fine. They're kind of trying to revive him a little bit. Bill reaches out for Joe Gorga's breasts in like a grabby motion. You might think that he thought it was Jennifer. I don't think he thought it was Jennifer because he's kind of laughing about it, and I think he knew that it was Joe Gorga. These guys are so hot for each other. It's crazy. Okay, now everyone is, they're starting to get ready for the pool party. The guys are, taking naps, but the ladies, the makeup artist has arrived, and the ladies are starting to get hair and makeup done. The personal chef has arrived. She's setting up in the kitchen. And Melissa leaves to go have her meeting with Danielle. Okay, now we are at the restaurant, and Melissa gets there first, and then Danielle shows up. And Melissa's like, so you were just here in town, huh? And she said, yes, Jillian goes to school, I don't know where, somewhere. You guys can tell me in the comments. I'm not even going to try to remember or pronounce it right or say it right, but it's one of the little towns on the shore. And so when Danielle misses her, she goes down there to visit. I'm sorry, I don't totally believe her because I think she made a point to be down there when they were down there. Well, I'll talk about my feelings about this after. Let me just tell you what happened. Danielle starts by saying that she doesn't understand how it got to that point or what the issue is with Melissa and her because she thought they were good. So Melissa says, Danielle, when you first started coming back around again, I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I really did. And yes, you didn't do anything to me personally. That's true. So I went into this with a clean slate. But you cannot tell me that you haven't caused problems in this group. Danielle, what problems have I caused? Melissa, Danielle, you pulled Margaret's hair. She's telling Danielle it's never okay to be violent, and she was leaning over the candle picking up her stuff. You came up behind her and you yanked her head back. She had to go to the hospital. That's not okay. It's never okay to be violent. Danielle, it isn't okay. And it's not okay for her to throw wine at me and to pour water over my head. That's never okay either. She treats me like I'm disposable. Which is really the whole crux of her hatred for Margaret, right? Anyway, she said, I finally had enough. Melissa, Danielle, listen, everyone feels like, and Danielle said, who's everyone? Now you're speaking for the whole group, Melissa? Melissa, unfortunately I am. Oh. Yeah. I spoke with all the girls today and I told them I was coming here and none of them want you around anymore. I mean, I give her props for having the guts to say that to Danielle's face because I don't think I would have said that. At least not that bluntly. Danielle, does that include Teresa? And Melissa said, well, Teresa knows I'm here too. But no, she enjoys your company and you make her laugh. Oh, God, I half expected her to say, what am I, a clown? Do I amuse her? But no, Melissa just went on to say that you know what Teresa's going through right now. And Danielle's like, yeah, I do. And Melissa said, well, then you should know that it's been really hard for her. And do you really think you're the best person to be around her, Danielle? Being violent in her presence? Do you think that's good for Teresa to be around that? Okay, you guys, I am going to take this step by step. Danielle kind of looks down. She looks a little pensive at this point. And it seems like she's going to maybe apologize or understand the error of her ways. But this is Danielle. So she just kind of looks down. And she's pausing, and Melissa goes, what? Like Melissa knows she's about to say something. And oh boy, she is about to say something. She looks up, and she said, I was also influenced. Melissa's like, what do you mean? Danielle, I was done when I emptied Margaret's bag into the candle. I was finished, but then Stephen told me I should go pull her hair. Oh my God. Melissa goes, Stephen, the boutique owner? Yeah. Oh, but we're not done yet. Danielle, when Stephen said to do it, I hesitated and I looked over at Teresa and she said, yeah, do it. Oh my God. Melissa, so then Teresa told you to pull Margaret's hair? Danielle, yes. And then you guys, we see a flashback to that day in the boutique. And it's true. It's true. I mean, listen, we can't make out what Danielle is saying to Teresa, but Bravo has subtitles. Danielle whispers in Teresa's ear, he just told me to pull her ponytail. Teresa turns around and says, yeah, do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Over and over again, egging Danielle on. Oh my God. Danielle wasn't lying. And then the screen goes to black and we see to be continued. Oh, this episode was epic. It was so good. I mean, I want to stand up and applaud. That was so good. Bravo, bravo. Bravo. Next week is the finale. The party is, well, I thought it was going to be at Jackie's. I was wrong. The party is going to be the pool party at the Jersey Shore. I don't know. I have so many thoughts about this. My main overriding thought about this whole thing was Danielle knew that she just put the final nail in her coffin when she called out Teresa. And that has got to be why she made the announcement she made when she was on Watch What Happens Live, that she will never return to New Jersey. Maybe some other franchise, but, you know, I doubt they're going to let her on. I mean, like New York ladies, I don't think they're going to tolerate Danielle. And where else will she go? I don't know. I don't think Bravo's going to have her on any other. So she just sealed her fate and she knew it. She went up against Don Giudice. And you don't do that and survive it. And she knew it. So I find it fascinating that she decided to out Teresa like that. Maybe she saw the writing on the wall. You know, the only one who stood behind her and wanted her on the show was probably, you know, arguably the most powerful woman on the show, Teresa. I still don't quite understand why, but, you know, she is. I do think she kind of calls the shots, and I think going up against her is the kiss of death. And I think that holding on to a lot of Teresa's secrets was probably what kept Danielle relevant, if you can even call her relevant. When everybody else wanted Danielle gone, all Danielle needed was Teresa to keep her on the show. And now, whoa. I don't know, guys. I need to go lay down. I'm exhausted. That was a lot to process. Okay, thank you so much for being here with me. I can't wait to hear what you guys think of this episode. Please leave a comment in the comments down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Please give this video a thumbs up and go ahead and click on that bell if you want more content like you just saw today. Okay, that's it for me. To say that I can't wait for next week would be the understatement of the century. I hope you join me. I will see you for the next recap of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Bye.